Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and I'm sorry about missing last week. This clip should explain some things. Ah! Yep. To the news. The countdown is over. The Dart Zone Pro MK1 announcement is probably the biggest news of the last week. There were some leaks, so we had an idea of what we were getting, like we knew it would be a Retaliator style platform, we knew it would be able to break down. What we didn't know is that it was both full and half-length compatible. While the included full-length mag is Nerf compatible, it ships its own version of half-length mag that is not like any of the other current offerings. However, with a little modification, they should be able to accept katanas, and because there's a full-length magwell, a Talon adapter should work just fine. To go with the new mags, we also get these new darts. The tips are compressible and smaller than the foam, so they won't drag on your barrel. And the interesting new development is that the foam has raised rings around it. I would assume that this helps to reduce friction on the barrel while maintaining a snug fit. Now, back to the blaster. The components seem pretty solid. The buffer tube is compatible with AR stock, so you can change that out to whatever you'd like. The foregrip and top rail have picoting to use whatever grip and sights you like best. The priming bars and catch are metal, so there's no worry about them bending or breaking under load. The spring is not a Retaliator spring, it's something that's much thinner and longer. However, quality components mean nothing without decent performance behind it, and it definitely has some power. Drax model was getting 170 FPS with half-length and 160 with full-length darts, well over the 150 claims from before. I'm not sure if there were further improvements after the video was filmed, or if they're using a looser barrel or different darts, but the results are pretty great. The MK1 blaster is available for pre-order now on dartzoneblasters.com for $180. Definitely not a budget blaster, but I am super stoked to have a blaster from the big leagues made from the ground up for enthusiasts. If you're already spending the big bucks on a shiny new DZP blaster, why not carry your half-length mags in style? Dragpush's latest Kickstarter live on Friday night, the Scabbard rig. It's a thigh rig for half-length dart mags and holds 6 in a 2x3 configuration. They'll all be handmade in the USA by SOE Tactical in Cryptek Black with red thread. It's ambidextrous, so you should be able to use it on whatever side you desire. And I really like how big the pull loops are, so you should be able to get what you need without even looking. Scabbard was 100% funded in less than 24 hours, which is not too surprising considering the success of his previous projects, Nyx and Tooth and Nail. Those were all funded very early and delivered on time and as expected. The biggest difference between this campaign and Drax's other projects is that this will not be available retail. Scabbard is getting a single run, and if you miss it, you miss it. The price for the kit itself is $125, or you could get it fully loaded with 6 talons for $180. Tickets are now on sale for the largest event in the West. We've been working all year alongside Jamie, Nerm, and others to plan this event for you, and we are excited to announce that ticket sales have begun. Just like last year, the ticket prices will go up as we get closer to the event, so buy them sooner rather than later. The Stalking Dead, the premier PvP survival game where humans play against humans and zombies, is returning with some new twists, and you can play for only $5 on Saturday, October 12th. Sunday is Super Stock and mini games, which you can join with a single $5 ticket. Also on Sunday will be the BTA King of the Hill tournament, which will see the return of last year's champion, Dauntless, as well as a host of new challengers. Teams will need to put up a $50 entry fee per team, but can expect prizes for the top 3 teams. Last year we had over $3,000 in prizes, ranging from gift cards to vendors to freaking Caliburn. There's a lot of rules still yet to finalize, but the key ones to keep in mind are that the FPS limits for Super Stock and Stalking Dead have been reduced to 130 FPS. All other events other than the 5v5 tournament will have ammo supplied for them. So leave your ammo at home. We'll be sending anyone caught with their own ammo home so we don't have to worry about hard-tip darts. iPro is mandatory for all players at all times when they're in the active play area. Masks that obscure the face from being visible are not allowed anywhere other than the 5v5 tournament, where half masks that cover the mouth and nose will be allowed. No flashlights or night vision devices will be allowed during Stalking Dead as well. For more rules on these events and the 5v5 tournament, changes, updates, and whatnot, there's links in the description to all of that, as well as a Discord where you can ask us questions. And one last note, FoamWar is a registered 501c3 nonprofit, so donations made on the website via the donation button are tax deductible. Can it be October already? Speaking of large-scale community events, FoamFest has 2 exciting updates. Firstly, they are officially incorporated as a CIC. This means they are a nonprofit that will always be striving toward public good. We all knew that was the intention already, but it's great to see it on paper. Secondly, the charity for next year has been chosen. They'll be giving to Off the Record Bristol, which is an organization that provides support and mental health services to young people for free. They do counseling, therapy, group workshops, and more for free every step of the way. This is an awesome cause, and I'm really glad that our hobby can help to support people who need it, and I'm so looking forward to supporting and attending FoamFest next year. We're not sure what it's called, but we saw it on Wacom's Facebook page. nfstrike shared images of a new Colonel Wasp creation that looks to be a take on the Spring Thunder. It has an injection molded main shell, and the tubes up front might be metal. There's a listing on Taobao for the shell and some of the hardware, but there's almost no information on the listings. It looks like it fires shells of half-length darts and can hold 5 shells. I imagine it will primarily be available through nfstrike, so we'll probably get some badly translated name for it eventually. The shell by itself is listed on Taobao for roughly $17, but knowing nfstrike, there will be a markup. It still looks pretty cool if it's easy to assemble and reliable, so we'll have to wait and see. This is technically old news, but it seemingly came out of nowhere. It dropped right before our last episode, but we missed it. The Dart Zone Liberator is a 10-round rival combat shotgun-esque blaster that looks super cool. It loads from underneath just like a typical shotgun and seems to be pretty ergonomic. Drek did a video a couple of weeks ago where he put it through its paces, and he also managed to boost its performance from 80 FPS stock to 120 FPS. It's a Walmart exclusive, and some people have already been able to find them in their stores. We're dropping a BrickSeek link in the description to help you hunt for one. Sadly, they're not available near us yet. Since we didn't get to film last week, we feel like we have to mention a blaster that popped up while we were moving. Last week's mod of the week is the Center Ride, which was finished before Endwar but didn't get shown in its finished state online until last week. Mr. Nathan has created another masterpiece. He seamlessly blended a Centurion and a Strife together to make this wonderful shell, then sent it out to be painted by Decryptic Reaper's Customs. I doubt anyone's surprised by this work of art coming from Mr. Nathan, but he continues to amaze all of us. But wait, there's more! This week's mod of the week is Hell Hornet by Corey Al Miller, posted over on Nerf Modders Welcome. It's a wrist-mounted rapid strike which has been minimized and hooked to a glove. He revs the blaster by closing his fist and fires by flicking his hand down to press the trigger. It's done very cleanly, even though he used full-size switches to control the functions. I like the pink paint and how well it actually works. We've seen some other wrist-mounted blasters in the past, but this one just seems more polished than most. Good job, Corey. This week's video of the week is Team Corvus's Battle of Brit-Nerf highlights. They got to play in such a cool location. It looks like there's an awesome combination of natural and structural cover and pathways. Even though there's a fair amount of cover, it's clear that nowhere is completely safe. And it looks like there's so many opportunities for movement, whether you're charging bravely forward or being flanked. And of course there's a couple of smoke bomb shots as well, seriously adding to the uneasy atmosphere. It's a super cool video. And that's all the news for the week. Thank you so much for showing up. Oh, I'll tell you guys a little secret. This is the second time I filmed this. The first time, I didn't have the microphone turned on. Whoops. Anyway, filming in a new place is hard. Next week, maybe it'll be a little bit better. Maybe there'll be more stuff on the wall. Maybe the lighting will be actual on the ceiling and stuff instead of in front of me, blinding me. We will see. Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific. I filmed this twice because I didn't plug in my microphone. That was dumb. When you're making a video, plug in your microphone. Sunday morning, that's where I'll be, right here on your computer. We're still unpacking. We're trying.